What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another banger. So in today's video, we will be ranking every player on the Dallas Mavericks 2022-2023 roster. Now, this is a series, so if you want to check out a different team, take a look at the channel, and that team may have been uploaded already. And if you want a specific team, feel free to actually get in the comments down below and request it. And your wish is my command. But without further ado, let's switch over so we can take a look at this tier list. Alright, so as you guys can see, we do have the Dallas Mavericks tier list made. And y'all already know how I like to do it with my tier list. I have 5 different categories. The first category is stars of the team. The second category is very good player, deserves big minutes. The third category is decent rotational player, gives you solid minutes. The fourth category is fine for garbage time / development. And the fifth and final category is get them off the motherfucking team. Now, y'all see all the players, we got them all lined up. And just so you guys do know, the only reason why AJ Lawson's picture looks like this is because it is very hard to find a regular looking picture for this young man. It really is. If you look up the Dallas Mavericks roster, you will not find a picture for him. They will have one of them generic 2K player pictures or just a blank silhouette of a man. So, hey, that's why his picture looks so crazy compared to all the other ones. But without further ado, man, let's get right into it. Oh, yeah, and before I do get started, all these players will be ranked in order from best to worst, just so you guys know. So the person I put at the top of my tier list as the number 1 player, that's the best player. The person I put at the bottom of my tier list, maybe in that get them off the motherfucking team category, that will be the worst player on the list. But without further ado, let's get right into it. But before we get into it, like the fucking video, comment on the fucking video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, and yeah, let's get it. Alright, so as the very best player on this team, I have the one and only Luka Doncic. Now, he is in the MVP race, and he might be my MVP as of right now. What he has been doing in the league is crazy as of right now. Just had a 60-point game not too long ago, and he's definitely the best player on this team. There's no debate. There's no argument. Now it's time to get controversial. Now, as the second best player on the team, I have Christian Wood. Now, a lot of people will say that's not too controversial, but I'm not putting him in stars of the team. I'm putting him in very good player, deserves big minutes. Now, the reason I have him in this position is because, in my honest opinion, it feels like he doesn't really have much of a presence on the team because, for the most part, it's the Luka Doncic show. Let's just keep it real. And I feel like one thing that all stars provide is presence. Also, let's keep it real. He's averaging solid numbers, but I wouldn't consider them star level numbers. He's averaging 17 points per game, around 8 rebounds per game. He's actually turning the ball over more than his assists. I think he's averaging around 2.5 turnovers and like 1 or less assists. So, yeah, his numbers, they're not star level in my opinion. They're just not. And then, as I said before, I feel like he just doesn't have much of a presence on the team. It feels like he's more of a role player on this team in the position that he's playing on this team. So, yeah, I got him as second best player on the team, but he is a very good player, deserves big minutes. Next up is Spencer Dinwiddie as the third best player on this team. Now, Spencer Dinwiddie has been having a pretty good season. I think he's averaging around 16 points per game, 5 assists per game. And, yeah, he's been playing pretty good ball. His 3 has been going down pretty well this year. And, yeah, he's definitely been playing good ball. The only thing I don't really like about the Dallas Mavericks, and this is a tangent, but I don't like how Jason Kidd plays both Luka Doncic and Spencer Dinwiddie at the same time. I feel like he should split their minutes up because they are the pretty much only two reliable ball handlers on the team. But that's neither here nor there. Let's keep it moving. As the fourth best player on this team, I have Dorian Finney-Smith. Now, should I put him in very good player, deserves big minutes, or should I put him in decent rotational player? I want to put him in very good player, deserves big minutes, but I think I'm going to put him in decent rotational player. Now, for the Dallas Mavericks specifically, he does provide a crucial role being a 3-and-D player, and he has been the best 3-and-D player on their team. But I don't feel like I could put him in their tier, to be honest. I feel like these two players, they provide more to the team. But other than that, he is a very good 3-and-D player. He has been the best 3-and-D player on that team. And yeah, he's definitely a decent rotational player, and he gives you solid minutes. For this team specifically, he is very important. But like I said before, I don't feel like he's as important as these two players, so I do have to put him in this category right here. But, hey, you can argue that he is right here. But for my tier list specifically, I'm going to put him right here. Right behind Dorian Finney-Smith, I have Maxi Kleber. Now, he was injured, unfortunately, but before he was injured, he was playing solid minutes, shooting the three pretty well, was actually playing pretty solid defense as well, and it just sucks that he is injured. He is 6'10", so him being pretty tall helps with his defense, and it makes him pretty diverse in a sense, being able to guard big man as well, and also pick and pop and things of that nature. But I definitely felt like he was a crucial player, and if y'all haven't watched my previous video where I was actually talking about his impact when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks and how much him being injured hurts the Dallas Mavericks, go check that out. But yeah, I got him as the 5th best player on this team. As the 6th best player on this team, I have Tim Hardaway Jr. Now, I know a lot of Dallas fans could argue that he should be above Maxi Kleber or Dorian Finney-Smith, but I got him right here as of right now just because, bro, he is in a shooting slump. Bro's percentages are bad, and then as we know, he doesn't play better defense than probably any other players on this list as of yet. So, yeah, man, I got him right there. He needs to get out of his shooting slump. He is a microwave style of player who can get hot and get cold, and currently, bro is cold as fuck. And he's been cold as fuck for a good minute. He was cold last year as well, so yeah, man. He gotta heat up. He gotta heat up quick. But yeah, I still got Tim Hardaway Jr. as the 6th best player on this list just because he is impactful for this team, and we see in the playoffs when he does get hot, he can be a threat. But yeah, he cold right now. He cold. All right, as the 7th best player on this list, I have Reggie Bullock. Now, Reggie Bullock is pretty much the equivalent of Dorian Finney-Smith, just the discount version. Reggie Bullock, he has not been hitting his 3 this year, which sucks, but he does still provide defense. But yeah, pretty much just discount Dorian Finney-Smith. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. As the 8th best player on this team, I have Dwight Powell. Now, the reason I got Dwight Powell right here is because he is a pretty solid role player. He is good in the pick and roll, and his percentages show it. I think he's shooting like 71% from the field, which is pretty good. The only unfortunate thing is that he is kind of one-dimensional. He can't shoot that well, but he does play decent defense. So I do want to point that out as well. And yeah, I got him as the 8th best player on this team. All right, as the 9th best player on this team, I have Josh Green. Now, Josh Green, he's pretty young. He's only been in the league for I think about 1 or 2 years. So that's something to note. And it's hard to tell where I would put him. I could put him in decent rotational player, gives you solid minutes. And he does do that. He does do that. But at the same time, it's like he still has a lot of development to, go through. And it kind of sucks that he does play for a coach in Jason Kidd, who doesn't really like to give the young guys too many minutes. But I'm gonna keep him. I'm gonna put him in decent rotational player for now, just because of how much he is impacting the team at such a young age. I think he's 20 or 22, somewhere around that. I think 22. So he's pretty young, and yeah, he does have some good shooting splits, and I just hope he keeps improving. I definitely hope he keep improving. But he could easily be right here, just so you guys know. He could easily be in this position right here, but I'm going to give him the benefit of doubt and hope that he keeps getting better, and I'm going to put him at decent rotational player for now. Next up, behind Josh Green, I have Davis Bertans. Now, I got Davis Bertans at fine for garbage time / development. Davis Bertans is just a horrible contract, bro. What else can I say? Man, his field goal percentage isn't too great, but he can shoot the three. And as we know, if you watch the Dallas Mavericks, you know it's the Luka show plus threes. And hey, if you can shoot the three, you are essential to this team. So hey, Davis Bertans, he hasn't really had a great year this year, but he still is a player that can catch on fire and hit that three. So I do want to just give him that benefit of the doubt. Contract horrible, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Right behind him, I have Kemba Walker. Now, Kemba Walker, it's unfortunate, but he is injured. So we didn't really get to see that much out of him actually playing for the Dallas Mavericks. I think we only got to see around 7 games or less. So yeah, man, we didn't really get to see much out of him. And it's like, yeah, he does provide another ball handler in a sense, but at the same time, we do know that Kemba, he can be kind of inefficient, and his stats show that he was pretty inefficient. It's hard for me to tell if that's based on, him being injured or if he washed. I'm not sure. But as of right now, I got him at fine for garbage time development because he's injured and we didn't really get to see much out of him, to be honest. Right behind Kemba Walker, I have JaVale McGee. Now, JaVale McGee, he just hasn't been that great for this team. I'm going to keep it real. He just hasn't. And it's unfortunate because he is something that the Dallas Mavericks need, a real 7-footer. But unfortunately, he has been kind of injured this year, and he just hasn't been that great. And that's with Jason Kidd starting him early on in the season. So, hey, we could take that for what it is. Has JaVale McGee fell off? I wouldn't say he's fell off, but I would say it's just a bad match when it comes to this team. But let's keep it moving. Right behind JaVale McGee, I got Frank Ntilikina. Now, he has also been injured, so we haven't really seen too much out of him. And we already know his flaws. He can't shoot, he's inefficient, but he does provide defense in the position that he plays, which I do like. And other than that, he ain't really providing shit. So, hey, fine for garbage time development, man. Fine for garbage time and development. And the last player that I will be putting at fine for garbage time and development is Jaden Hardy. Now, I got him at fine for garbage time and development because he is, I think, a rookie. I think he's only 20 years old. And whenever he does go to the G League, he shows a lot of promise. He's averaging like 30 points and things of that nature. So, hey, there's hella potential with this player. But he just hasn't seemed to actually put it together on the NBA level. And then, like I said before, Jason Kidd, he kind of has trust issues when it comes to the players that he put out on the field. And with that, certain players just aren't going to get minutes. So rookies not going to get minutes. Pretty much all the players on this Fine for Garbage Time area not going to get minutes except probably JaVale McGee and these other two right here. And we seen pretty much Jason Kidd's trust issues with Christian Wood. Like, he was hoeing Christian Wood when it came to his minutes early on in the season, even though y'all literally just traded for this player to make your team better. So it's like, hey, with certain players, they're just not going to really get the run that they would like to actually develop. And I think, unfortunately, that's how it might be for Jaden Hardy. But hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully, Jason Kidd does try to get him as many minutes as he can so they can actually finally get that third, ball handler that they've been hoping for, with a lot of potential, because he was only 20 years old and he was a high draft pick. All right, next up behind Jaden Hardy, I have AJ Lawson, and I do have him at fine for garbage time development due to him being so young. He is 22 years old, so he's a little older than Jaden Hardy, but there is still a little potential when it comes to him. I think he's around 6'6", so he's a decent size, and hopefully he can keep growing and become a solid 3-and-D style of player. But yeah, I got him at fine for garbage time development. Now, for the final players, I have two. And those two players are Theo Pinson and also McKinley Wright IV. Now, who do I feel like is the worst player on this team? I want y'all to get in the comments down below and tell me who y'all think is going to be the worst player. Me personally, I got McKinley Wright IV as get them off the team. And as the worst player on this team, I have Theo Pinson. Now, my argument for why I have Theo Pinson as the worst player on the team is because at this point, this man is 27 years old. And it's like, he's not getting any minutes. He's 27, so you don't even really have much of a, you don't really have much optimism when it comes to him of actually getting better due to him already being in his prime. At least McKinley, he is only 24 years old, so there's a little more hope. But with Theo Pinson, I gotta put him on get him off the fucking team. Now, shout out to his podcast though. Shout out to him on that. But when it comes to the basketball, hey, what can I do? But let's recap this whole list and then I'll close out. Alright, so to recap the list, as the best player on the team and also in the stars of the team category, I have Luka Doncic. Right behind him, I have Christian Wood. As the third best player, I have Spencer Dinwiddie. As the fourth best player, I have Dorian Finney-Smith. As the fifth best player, I have Maxi Kleber. As the sixth best player, I have Tim Hardaway Jr. As the seventh best player, I have Reggie Bullock. As the eighth best player, I have Dwight Powell. As the ninth best player, I have Josh Green. As the 10th best player, I have Davis Bertans. As the 11th best player, I have Kemba Walker. As the 12th best player, I have JaVale McGee. As the 13th best player, I have Frank Ntilikina. As the 14th best player, I have Jaden Hardy. As the 15th best player, I have AJ Lawson. As the 16th best player, I have McKinley Wright the fourth. And as the worst player on the team, unfortunately, I have Theo Pinson. But if you enjoyed this video, like the freaking video, comment on the freaking video, subscribe to the freaking channel, turn on notifications and all that good stuff. And if you want me to do your specific team, hey, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. If you want me to do your specific team, get down there in the comments down below and put your team in the comments. But I'm out. Peace.